There's no pressure at all, but this will be the first intro that we've ever done first take on, if you get it right.
Well, you know, this ain't my first rodeo.
If you get all that right, I'll owe you a case of Bud Light.
All right, here we go. Hey everybody, this is Todd with Sweet Tea Guitars. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and welcome to the Great Guitar Build Off 2023 and a collaboration with Gio from Tornella Guitars for the community category. Hey Gio, how are you?
I'm good. I've been looking forward to this. It's been a while. Well, since we did a collaboration, it's been a while.
It has, and I know you guys are still waiting on the sound demo for the Strat. Gio. I kind of been waiting on Gio to finish up. He had a few electronic anomalies going on, so it's coming soon, you guys, I promise.
Electronic anomalies is an understatement. I've got no idea what's wrong with it, but I do need to. I keep promising you every week that I'm going to do it, and I still haven't done it. But I've got an excuse because I was building 4 guitars for the show, which I needed to get done. So I've run out of excuses now, though.
I know, man, but I got other guitars. It's not that big of a deal. I understand completely how it is to chase those little gremlins.
I think we need to take a look at the flash. Is it there?
It's at the house.
Okay. Well, you need to plug that, definitely. I keep saying I'm still amazed that you're building that and just giving it away. So for anybody that is watching, I think this is going to probably go out on my channel. So for anyone that's watching my channel and watching this video that hasn't yet gone over to Todd's, which is probably unlikely, he's giving away a guitar that he's just built, which looks stunning. So you do need to go across and subscribe in order to be able to be in with the chance of winning that. So do that if you haven't, because it's awesome.
Thanks, Gio. June the 17th is the date, by the way, so it's not much longer, and the only requirement to be in the drawing to win that guitar is to hit the subscribe button. Anyway, enough about me, Gio. Let's talk about these builds we got planned for the Great Guitar Build Off this year.
So we're going to have a quick run through what we're going to do, what we're going to build, the wood choices, the hardware choices, the pickup, and just have a chat and see where we end up.
The base of the idea is we both want to build a classic semi-hollow. Well, knowing that, Gio and I have come up with a couple of guidelines for each other to follow. First of all, it has to be a hollow body or a semi-hollow body guitar. Secondly, and Gio picked this, double bound, slab-sided, and what did you say? A bound headstock and neck as well?
Yep, double bound body, bound neck and headstock. Some form, we'll just say some form of binding on the neck and headstock, and P90s.
My guideline was it has to be black hardware and it has to be a set neck guitar. So we kind of threw each other a curveball with this because Gio doesn't do set necks that often and I don't do binding. Gio, take it away, brother. Let us see that wood you've chosen. I know it's going to be awesome.
Now I'm going to have to own up to something here, and I know that you're going to give me crap for it, but I'm totally willing to accept it. But I'll cover the other bits first. So I've got about 15 or 20 bits of solid white European ash, which are heavy as hell, and I've been holding on to them because I don't want to get rid of them because they'll be single piece bodies, but I've been holding on to them because they need to be semi-hollow or hollow body guitars. So I'm going for a single piece white ash body, and then for the top I'm going with black limber. So I've got just a really nice piece of limber.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be so beautiful. That's got flame in it too, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, and it just, it's just lovely, the colour and everything. And I don't think I've used, in fact, I haven't used limber before, and I've wanted to use it for a while. And I know we're going to come on and talk about finishing because I'm still torn. Like, this stuff looks fantastic with like a satin oil type finish. So maybe we'll have a talk about that, but that's going to be the top. Oh, and while I have that, I'm going to hold up the fretboard because this was totally by chance, but I'm using a Wenge fretboard that perfectly goes with the color of the black limber.
Oh goodness, man, I have never seen a piece of wingay that looks like that. That is so awesome.
Yeah, it's really odd, and I got it, you know, we get stuff for the same reasons. We get it because it looks interesting and it looks different, but I knew I'd use it at some point, so that's just perfect. And then, okay, so here's my confession for the wood. So I'm using maple neck, but you can probably see that this one grew with 4 perfectly placed pieces of mahogany right up it. So I've never seen that. I've never seen that before. I'll show it to the camera.
That is super interesting how that happened. Cheater!
The other explanation might have been that I was about to buy a single piece maple neck and veneer it myself, and then for €3 extra, I saw that it was already done and I hit buy.
Sometimes things are just easy. I am well aware that you are capable of gluing up a neck.
To be honest, I probably wouldn't have just laminated that many pieces just to have a few pinstripes down it, but it does actually look beautiful, so I thought I'd just go ahead and get it anyway. I'll cheat a bit. But that's what I'm doing anyway for the wood. And the other thing that I am going to do is, for my binding, I'm going to use black pearl double binding. In fact, it's going to be black pearl on the neck as well as the body, I think, and on the headstock I've got a small 1.5mm solid black binding, which I think I'll probably do. And that's going to, I'm hoping, in fact I'm pretty sure that's going to contrast really, really well with the wood.
Which way are you going on hardware?
I'm going with a hip shot style black bridge, obviously black P90s. We'll talk about the pickup shortly. And I'm using the same Clouson top locking tuners in black that I use on all of my Tele style guitars, because I kind of standardized the hardware that I'm using across them just because it's available in gold and chrome and black. So that's really handy.
Are you doing a 6-in-line or a 3x3?
Yes, it's going to be a 6-in-line because I'm doing a slightly revised version of my Tele design, which was the one that I built. The Applewood guitar was that design. I think it was the first one that I'd made for YouTube anyway. But all I'm going to have to do, because it's going to be slab-sided and double bound, this template was for a carved top, so these edges are going to have to come in just slightly, probably only about 5mm, so that it looks good without carves.
What about the pickups? We both said we would use P90s for this, and I've got kind of a special set. What are you planning on doing?
I think I'm probably going to order a set of the bare knuckle P90s and pop them in here, probably the boot camp ones. They'll be the same kind of low output style pickups that I put in all of my guitars, but I think that's what I'm going to go with, just because I think I'll stick with those across the board when I use P90s.
Those guys are cutting edge when it comes to pickup design. I haven't actually used any of them yet, but I know you've ordered a few sets of them.
And they're really good guys as well. They're really great to deal with. And I've used them, I've used a couple of sets of theirs already and been really impressed with them. In fact, all of my guitars are across with my buddy who's an actual good guitarist to do sound demos at the moment. And I've got 3 different sets of pickups and 3 different journeymen that he's got, and he's been testing them back to back. So I should probably say that his favourite pickups that he's tested so far have been Bill Taylor's Sonoran custom wound pickups. So we should probably put a link to Bill's pickups in this one, but he played them and he loved them.
That's great, and that's a killer shout out for Bill. For those of you guys who don't know, we're talking about Bill Taylor from Bill's Guitar Garage here on YouTube. He also has Sonoran custom wound pickups and Elysium guitars. If you guys want to look him up on Instagram or Facebook, he is an absolute killer pickup winder. I've used many sets of his pickups. That's what I'm using for this guitar too. We'll go through my stuff in a minute. Anyway, Gio, is that you?
Yep, that is everything for me. So what did you pick out of your amazing wood stash?
Funny you should ask. Like you, I'm going with a solid white ash body, but mine's 2-piece. This is just American white ash. It's pretty heavy, but since we're doing semi-hollows, I don't really mind that so much. And I'm going to glue this straight up. I'm not going to use any veneer or anything. I want a clean line on the end because I'm using a top and a back on this guitar. For the top, or the front, I should say, I'm going to use this piece of straight grain wingay. And this is a thin top. It's only about 4.5 millimeters thick, but it's perfectly flat on both sides. It's already sanded, so I won't have to take too much thickness off of this thing. This will work out great with the binding that I've chosen to use. I'm also going to go with a wingay back on this guitar. And this is a awesome piece of owl eye, is what I've been calling it. A killer piece of wingay book match back in this case. So wingay front and back. I'm going to go with white binding, which is, you know, here we are, complete opposites. I'm using pretty much black wood for the top and the back, and white binding. You're using white body wood pretty much, and black binding. I think this is going to be so awesome, man. So one thing I've yet to do on a guitar is to use a maple fretboard. And I started thinking about it while we were talking. And I ordered myself a piece of quilted maple, and you're not going to be able to see this figure that great on camera. But this fretboard has beautiful chatoyance. It's got some really nice quilt in it. And I think this is going to make an awesome fretboard. I'm also going to try something else for the first time, which is finishing a fretboard with CA glue. For the neck, I'm going with a solid, this is multiple pieces, 5 pieces. This will have veneer in between it. This is solid wingay with a super curly maple strip run down the middle. I haven't decided if I'm going to taper that strip or not. I kind of like the way it looks linear. I'm going to be adding 4 pieces of veneer in between these neck pieces. That's going to bring me right up to the thickness I need for this blank to be to incorporate a 3x3 headstock. And that's what I'm doing on mine. I'm going to use a back angled headstock at about 7.5 degrees. No angles, no back angle on the neck, no break angle. The reason that's possible is because I'm using a Shaler 3D6 bridge. It's right here. I've never used one of these, but I've heard great things. These are so special, man. I'm using Shaler Da Vinci tuners, black with white pearl buttons. So I was so lucky to get in on these before they discontinued the Da Vinci tuners. And these things are so awesome. I love the look. I love the roundness, which is going to tie in so killer with my design. And we'll get to the design in a minute. 2 Shaler speed knobs, black chrome, and all this hardware is actually black chrome instead of like a matte black. For pickups, and Gio's already mentioned them, but I will be using 2 Sonoran custom wound pickups. These are P90s, 8.5K bridge, 7.5K neck pickup, reverse wound, and I'll just show you guys one of these real quick. I don't want to take the plastic off yet, but these were hand wound, spec'd by me, and Bill was kind enough to get these to me like 4 days after I ordered them. I couldn't believe it. They got here so quick. This guitar is going to be a continuation of the Astrolabe that I built for my doctor friend a few months ago. This is going to be completely different. It's a new design, and this will be a Sweet Tea, the first Sweet Tea model that I offer for sale here from the shop, which brings me to have to mention, Gio and I have talked this over. We've decided that we're both going to sell these guitars at the end of this series. So anyone who's interested, get in touch with us, sweetteaguitars@outlook.com, and Gio's going to give you his email information in just a moment, or you can contact us through the YouTube videos or any other way, Instagram, whatever you guys want to do. Gio, that's my wood, that's my hardware, that's my pickups. I cannot wait to get started on this thing, brother.
Well, I guess it was pretty predictable that you were going to come up with something awesome. So the wood looks fantastic. I think the wood choices are really good. And the white pearl binding that you're going to use is going to contrast really well. And it's cool that we're going to come up with 2 very different, you know, light and dark guitars.
I think so, man. I think we're both, you know, it's kind of odd that it ended up that way, really, because we didn't really talk about wood choices we've talked about a million different wood choices for various guitars, but I can't keep any of that crap together in my head, man. Once we started actually choosing woods for this build, I had no idea what you were going to do. You had no idea what I was going to do. And it's kind of funny that we ended up doing this whole black light thing. I love that, man. I think it's going to be so awesome. All right, you guys. So all that being known now, we've got a few builders we want to mention and we would like to show some support for that have been really kind to both of us. Gio, is there anybody you want to mention?
A couple. Well, the first hasn't gone up yet, but Jamie, aka Fat Patanga, he's been really kind on. Actually, he's really kind on everybody's videos and has been for some time. So I know he's doing his second build this year. So for anyone that hasn't seen his channel, we'll put the link to his. But whatever he comes up with is probably going to be good, and I'm certainly going to show my support because he's been so kind. The other person that's already put up just a short video is Dave at 34 Guitars, and I don't know whether he's planning on doing it on YouTube or whether he's just going to do it on Instagram or not, but his stuff is it's beautiful.
Yeah, Dave is such a kind guy, man. He has been so killer to me. I got a 34 guitar sticker right there on the wall of fame. His guitars are so awesome. He does multi-layer bodies all the time and uses some really interesting wood. His guitars are truly unique.
They are, and the video, I think the short video that he's put up already is a multi-layer guitar body that he's doing, so you just know that that's gonna come out nice.
There's a couple of guys I'd like to mention as well. First of all, Curtis from Goth Rider Creations. Curtis is a brother builder. He's planning on doing a really killer guitar this year. If I'm not mistaken, he's using all salvaged hardware, neck, body woods, everything he's getting. It's just stuff he's found. And he's really creative at doing things like that.
Yeah, I saw his first video and he's doing it all for like a crazy price, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't remember what that price was, but it's like less than $500. Hell, it may even be less than $200. I can't remember. Everything he's gotten, he's picked up at a junk shop or he's found or whatever. Super creative dude. The second person I want to mention is Bill from Borgonian Evolution. He's done one build so far for the Great Guitar Build Off. Last year he did an Explorer, which I think he called the Thick Lizzie, and it was white and blue. Beautiful guitar. The cool thing about Bill's guitar last year was he did it all the routing and everything with the Dremel tool. He doesn't have the tools that he needs to do a proper scratch build. So over the past year, I've been sending Bill little tools, little care packages here and there, just to try to help him get up and going on his guitar build. So I'm gonna be sending Bill some wood and just to try to drive him to create something really special for the Great Guitar Build Off, or just so he can do his first scratch build. It's not really for the Great Guitar Build Off. I just want to help the guy because he's cool to me.
Yeah, and exactly the same. And both of those guys are also really kind on my channels. And you're right, Bill's build that he did last year was a testament to patience and dedication, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, that side jack that he hollowed out with the Dremel bit, you know?
I know. It was just, it was fantastic. And I was kind of hoping that he's one of those guys that you hope that the Great Guitar Build Off is going to reach out and cling on to and say, here, you know, do something.
Man, I know. And that's another thing that, you know, I have to say this, you guys. Regardless of how you feel about what the Great Guitar Build Off stands for, to me, it's about community. You know, it's about what we do for each other. And that's what's really important. I could care less who wins the thing. I certainly don't care if I win it. I just do this because I'm proud to be a member of this community. It's what led you and I to be friends, Gio, you know? I mean, commenting on each other's videos, and we talk every day now, you know? And that's a testament to what this has become. It's just awesome. I love it.
I totally agree, and I think that's probably the reason why, well, it is, in fact, it's the reason why I did the community build last year, and again, why we're doing it together this year, because I think, for me, the community build is kind of what it's about. It's, once you take the competition element out of it, it just becomes a showcase and a chance for us, you know, as a community to chat and to exchange ideas. And that, for me, is really what GGBO is all about.
It is for me too. And I had, you know, before we actually decided to do this collaboration, I had already clicked the buy button for the scratch build entry. All in all, the community build is what that's the one I really want to put the major focus on. So you guys be on the lookout for the first build video, which will be the next. That will be airing on my channel coming up shortly. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button on mine and Gio's channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date as we both release these videos for the Great Guitar Build Off. We'll see you guys in the funny papers. Peace and love.
I had to look up what that was.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. I didn't realize that was not a thing everywhere.
We'll leave it in. It's cross-cultural. It'll be educational.
Yeah. Really.